What can I do for you?
Hello. And we've heard some news of a magical tower that appears at night or day. We're not really sure. And trying to find out what we can do to help.
Excuse the old man directness, but he's right. We're just trying to help.
He kind of scratches his beard a little bit, and he's just kind of like a very small beard. He just scratches a little bit. He goes, "Oh, it's fine. Directness is good. Doesn't waste my time. Come on in, old timer." As he kind of turns, he kind of like pulls out of your way so you can like get inside the small place with him.
I'll run my hands through my very long beard as he goes through his little one, just to show tiny dominance.
He realizes he's scratching his beard, looks down at you and goes, "Ah."
That's pretty nice, right? Took a long while to grow this one. You'll get there one day.
I feel personally insulted right now.
He just kind of chuckled and said, "Yeah, maybe in another 300 years, huh?"
Right around that.
He walks around to his desk. This guard tower is a bit bigger than you would expect on the inside, but it's still realistically only like an office. It's just slightly a big office, but there's a large like wooden desk that's there, and he goes around and sits on the other side, and he says, "Sorry, I only have a normal sized chair."
No problem, Jimmy. I got the recent ups to my jumping. And he kind of hops up into the chair. So it looks like you're looking for some humans. May I ask why?
He says, "Oh, well, noble politics, I guess. I can't really give you the details on it, but we're on the lookout for a certain few names."
Oh, which nobles are looking for them? There's a few that I like and a few I don't. I'm sure you feel the same.
He says, "Professionally, I'm not allowed to feel the same, but,
Unprofessionally,
he says, "Well, city politics." He says, honestly, he's too young to be dealing with all of this bullshit, but, well, the pay is much better than when he was a watchman, so he's not going to complain too much.
Oh, too young, you and me both. Ha ha ha. And he just slaps the table.
He says, "But really, what can I do for you?"
Well, if I can't help with the humans, and it seems like you've noticed that my friends here are not the ones you're looking for, what do you know about this tower or lighthouse that appears?
These are not the humans you're looking for.
He looks at you confused for a moment, and he goes, "Oh, what do they locals call it? The Twilight Tower?"
Yeah, oh, that one. The magical tower that appears out of nowhere nonchalantly.
He kind of just like folds his hands on a desk and just kind of like gives like a long sigh, shaking his head slightly, and just, really, what they come up with these names. Listen, people keep saying that they're seeing this thing come up at dawn and dusk, some tower out in the Great Harbor. Listen, to be honest with you, I haven't seen it. I have no idea what they're talking about, but word up the chain is they want someone to look into it, and they're not willing to give me any guards to investigate it, so I had no choice but to put up a notice board. Hey, look, you go there, you check it out, let me know if it's safe or not, or what's going on with it. Are you and your group adventurers?
Well, sure.
He says,
"We could give you a little hand."
he says, he kind of like leans over the desk a little bit, and he goes, "All right, well, look, I can't give you a reward for this. I'm not authorized to, but honestly, I'll give you a whole 5 gold if you take this off, if you deal with this thing and make it go away. I don't want to be dealing with this anymore. It's wasting time and resources." He says, "Listen, but what I am authorized to do is tell you if there's anything inside worth taking, it's all yours."
Well, how about this? You keep the 5 gold. If we take this off your hands, help you with this, maybe you tell us how we can help you with these humans you're looking for these nobles. Obviously off the books.
He kind of like leans back in his chair and goes, Oh, that's pretty generous of you. If that's all I gotta do, then sure, take the job. And he kind of extends his hand like, all right, shake.
And a crinkly little baby hand reaches forward to shake his hand.
He does his best to shake your hand and just goes, you drive a very honest bargain, old-timer. I'd be glad to get this off my hands. Good luck with that.
Sounds good. Well, off to the wonderful water tower.
Yes, I love water.
As you like walk out, as you walk out, he gives like the rest of you guys at the doorway kind of like a wave, and he just kind of yells to you, close the door while you're at it.
No problem, Jeffrey.
He gives another laugh, and you get to see him like just laughs, shakes his head, and goes back to writing on his desk.
Did you just bribe a member of the town guard?
I did the opposite of bribing. I took no money for information.
Well,
information's a powerful thing.
Money and then,
correct.
He gave you money and then you just gave it back is really what it comes down to.
Pretty much.
I mean, yeah, basically.
When you get to my age, you can do this. What are they gonna do? Throw you in a home?
All right, so let's go back up to the clerics. So Caliban and Sylvie, you guys made it back up to the temple of Suni. You can see that it's this really wonderful looking bathhouse. The outside of it is kind of open air. There's a large like Greco-Roman forum there with columns. Several of the columns look as if they are basically made from like marble, with a naked man or a naked woman holding up part of the column itself, and it looks as if they are holding up a hand mirror to their chest and kind of over their chest as well. The woman having like a basket of fruit kind of on her head being held there, and the man looking as if he's kind of making a gesture with his hand of just kind of like an open hand. And then kind of the column continues holding up the ceiling as well. Inside, it's like a marble floor, along with these kind of nice dressing rooms off to the side that are almost shaped like a G, where like you could enter in one side, and then there's a small like fixed doorway to change behind if you want. There's also several cushioned couches made out of nicely carved wood with nice red padded cushions there. Also several cushions kind of on the ground nearby. There's bowls of fruit on little coffee tables in front of it. And you can see that there's small like golden platters where there's already like several offerings. People have dropped anything from a nib to a shard, maybe even a few gold dragons there, just in honor of the goddess. And you can actually see that further in back are these two massive double doors, spanning a whole like 10 feet by 10 feet. And behind that, as Caliban probably would have told you, Sylvie, by this point, there is a bathhouse further beyond. And you can see that there are several acolytes that are walking around the bathhouse. Many of them wearing clothes that's similar to what Caliban's wearing, kind of either a lightly colored like pastel pink, or a like almost like an off-white color of like toga style tunic with a small clasp on the shoulder showing the emblem of Suni. Basically what looks like a mirror with a woman's face at the top of it, and her hair coming down on the sides, creating the frame of the mirror. Many of the acolytes are wearing this, and you can even see that there's one other cleric there. What looks like a half-elven woman, but maybe Caliban would have told you that she's actually quarter-elven. A woman by the name of Falthea. She is kind of a petite woman, probably only standing about 5'4". She has a very thin frame, and she has her hair is like a very, very pale, almost like platinum blonde, cut into almost like a pixie cut. And you can see that she's actually only wearing her toga or tunic from the waist down, and from the waist up, she's actually bare, which is not uncommon here. You actually see that several of the acolytes are also doing this, and several of the people who here taking a bath are even have disregarded the bathrobes or whatever, have just taken off their clothes, kind of neatly folded it on the cushions nearby, and then just walked to the bath area naked, which is completely normal here. As you walk in, you actually see someone walking out of the baths. They look as if they have just started drying themselves off, again, mostly naked. And as the door opens, you just see like a giant waft of steam come out from the back room into the front. As the door closed, that steam is just kind of cut off very drastically. Caliban, this is your place. Are you just going directly to Falthea?
I think I'd probably walk in and drop a shard in the donation box.
Okay.
And I'd hail down an acolyte and ask them if they could fetch Falthea for me, if I don't see her already.
You guys see her further in the back, in toward the back of the front of the first room. And it looks as if she is heading toward like the back prep area with several like towels kind of draped over one arm. So you can kind of just barely see her walking away as you walk in.
Okay. Well, I think I'd turn to Silvestrova and I'd say, please enjoy yourself. I'll be back shortly.
When you do turn to her, you can see that she's already very red in the face, and quite honestly, what looks to be dazed. And she's like, "I'll just stay here. Yeah, I'll be right here. Won't move."
Maybe a little overwhelmed by the by everybody's comfort with their own nudity.
Yes.
Yep, sounds right.
Then Calvin would smile and say, don't be embarrassed. It's okay. This is a place where you can feel safe. And they would walk off to get Falthea.
Okay. So Caliban heads to the back. Sylvie, as you're there in the front, you see a nobleman walk in. He is wearing fine clothing. He actually could be even just a very rich or wealthy merchant. You're not sure. But as he walks in, you see him grab one of the robes off of a stand or hook nearby, and he like goes over to one of the side rooms, and you could hear him taking the clothing and everything off, and you hear the clink of most likely jewelry or a necklace. And you see him walk back out with his robe, and as he does, he takes off one of the rings from his fingers and drops it onto the gold plate, and then heads to the back area. A moment later, Falthea and Caliban. Sorry, we're getting to the end of the session. My brain is like starting to slowly shut down.
Yeah, right.
Just like slowly powering down. So Caliban and Falthea walk out, and Falthea now has the wicker basket on her arm, and as she walks out, she comes to greet you. She has a very almost like mature kind of personality to her. She seems very reserved. Caliban, are you introducing Falthea to Sylvie?
Of course.
Okay.
I'd say, Falthea, this is my companion, Sylvie.
Falthea gives you like a small curtsy, just kind of, putting one foot behind the other and giving you a little bow. And she says, "It's a pleasure to meet you." And she's so
Awkwardly,
glad.
I put the hand back out awkwardly, trying to give the another handshake.
She kind of like, as you do that, she like curtsies. It's almost like a complete miss on both sides. And as she kind of finishes the curtsy and stands back up, she looks at your hand, just, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she reaches out her hand over to yours, and Sorry about that. Felthea, pleasure to meet you.
I give it a good like firm trade style handshake.
And so she says, well, I must be on my way. I need to finish the rounds before the sundown, and you know how the locals are, Caliban.
Of course.
As she kind of begins heading out of the temple, still like with the toga only like around her midsection, just like bare from the top up, as she still has like the thing from her hands, just kind of walking down the stairs. Caliban, are you gonna let her go that way, or like you're like
Yeah,
hey, Felthea,
she's a big girl. She can do what she wants.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not gonna complain about a topless lady walking by.
Neither can I.
And as you do this, she heads downstairs, and you see one of the women. It looks like an older woman kind of walk by with a bag of groceries or a basket of groceries, and she like looks over at Falthea, blushes, and just Lady Cleric, you're and Falthea, you see like her stop, kind of look at her, and just goes, huh? Oh my! And she just like puts the basket down, grabs onto the toga, begins like strapping it up, and she kind of like grabs the basket, and she goes over to the woman, like gives her a hug, kisses her on her forehead, and they're both like laughing, and she goes, oh, I'm sorry, thank you so much. And she just like looks over at you, Caliban, and you can see she like scrunches her face, purses her lip, and just goes like as she walks off. She still laughing a bit, and just like gives you a little wave.
What was that?
I think, just cleric stuff. You know. You know how it is. Do you want to bathe before we go and meet up with our friends again?
Might as well. I mean, you brought me to this wonderful temple. Haven't been to anything this nice. The one I've gone to is just out there in the country, so small little stone temple.
You haven't lived until you bathed in Suni's temple.
Obviously, I haven't lived.
Sylvie's just a country girl.
Country girls make do.
So you guys head over. Caliban obviously is showing Sylvie the temple and the rituals here of getting naked and putting on one of these more Sylvie, I don't know how where your modesty lies, but you probably, as you take off your clothes and change over to one of these like togas, you're noticing how incredibly soft but also how incredibly sheer the fabric is. You realize very quickly that the moment this gets even a slightest bit wet, it's going to turn almost clear.
Oh lord, this isn't gonna be good. But hey, I'm with Caliban. He knows what he's doing.
So Caliban leads you to the bath area. Caliban leads you to the bath area, and you see that there are like 5 different large, like swimming pool almost style pools. And you notice that the one in the front doesn't seem to have any steam coming off it, but the one in the back has a pretty decent like bit of steam coming out of it. And they're all kind of shaped almost like an upside down L. So like there's 4 on one side, and then one a little further in the back on the other. And then there's this whole like area on the side where it looks like there's towels on drying racks.
Well, you know the way, so I'll just follow you.
Caliban, which pool is your favorite? Which one are you getting in?
Definitely the one that's the hottest, for sure.
Oh, okay. All right. Get that exfoliation going on. So Caliban takes you to the hottest pool, the one on the far like left-hand side toward the back. You get in, and it's a nice, hot, like jacuzzi-style temperature. it feels good. Getting in immediately is a little uncomfortable, but your body quickly warms up to the right temperature and it feels nice.
Oh Lord, this is very comfortable. I can see why you like this one so much.
You
Yeah,
immediately
that's why I
notice
live here. It's pretty nice.
you immediately notice
And,
that the water has a light scent of like it smells like almost like perfume, like a very light perfume of like rose smell to it. And you even see that there's a few roses or flowers that are floating in the pool. A little odd that they're not wilting from the heat, but they might just be a different type of flower for all you know.
I am going to scoop right up next to Caliban, and almost turn him like away, and then like start cleaning the back, in typical way, like the way we do it on the farm. We grab wire brush and we just start scraping off all the dirt. But I don't see any wire brushes, so I guess I'll just use my hands.
All right, sounds good. Now that you guys are relaxing in the pool, I mean, you can just feel like your muscles are just unknotting and unwinding. It feels wonderful. This is magical almost. All right, so you guys are relaxing.
Oh,
no, sorry.
so
go ahead.
you notice Sylvie actually rests her head on your shoulder and almost is starting to fall asleep.
Wow. I think Calvin would blush. That's so cute.
This is adorable,
But they-
guys.
I
This
love
is
the reaction.
also-
Just
guys. I'm not gonna prove this. This is way too wholesome. This is not what I'm here for.
Right?
Um.
I'm not ready for this.
All right, so you guys are relaxing in the bathhouse, which is probably, all things considered, rather than being out looking for this goddamn tower. I mean, let's be honest, this is probably the way to go. So for you other guys who are not living it up in this hot tub,
We're in
with
the
naked people.
The Playboy Grotto going on.
Don't ever talk about gnomes. Playboy. I'm literally just imagining a gnome in a speedo now, just like doing pelvic thrusts and doing a party boy.
Give it.
Oh no! Don't put that image in my head.
Oh yeah, there goes all that wholesomeness out the window.
First emoji.
Oh god. No.
would his nickname be Huge Hefner?
So, don't help me. I'm trying to get names going here. So, Gadri, Zach, Brick, Zier, and Tor. You guys are now have all of this done.
Done.
You're looking at you already talked with the Civilar here, made a pretty good deal with him. He seemed like a genuinely nice guy, right? So now it's just a matter of like waiting until the tower shows up. What are you guys doing? I mean, you could head back to the Yawning Portal.
Well, seeing as we agreed to meet our friends at the Dock Tavern, I think we'd probably just be in that general area for a while.
All right.
Yeah, they surely show up on time. They won't be late due to any happenstances like extended baths or something.
I'm sure they're not doing anything more fun than this.
Okay. So you guys head to the tavern and spend a few hours just drinking and maybe playing. Maybe Zach can con you into another game of cards, huh?
Let's
There was no calm there. It was a friendly game of cards. No sleight of hand involved.
Oh yeah, totally a friendly game of cards.
Is there a bard in this tavern?
Is there a what?
Is there a bard in the tavern?
No, there is not a bard in the tavern. But you notice as you guys walk in that just outside the tavern, there's a big placard that just says, "Kitten dancing tonight at sundown."
Well, God please it. 100%.
Yeah, forget the tower.
So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and end there for today.
Oh, that's a good cliffhanger.
So thank you guys for coming. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. And we can talk a little about the game afterward. But at least for the broadcast, we're kind of done with the main portion here. So
Cool. Okay, man.
yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story, and those of you guys watching on Twitch, I hope you enjoyed just as much as my players did. Come again for next week, and when we continue where we left off.
With the dancing kitten.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh.
not dancing kitten. It's actually like a dance.
It's not someone just dancing with their cat.
That hits too close to home.
It could be a person dancing with a.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to Thomas demonstrating how kitten dances.
We already know that's why we're playing with video.
Make a performance check.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
I don't know if that's
put a coin in a G-string right now.
And that's
TOS.
I
I
think you
think
need
that might be breaching TOS.
yeah, you need to make an OnlyFans for that.